Colorado High School Activities Association Baseball is on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. I'm John Beltran, live from Estes Park High School. This game has already started about 30 minutes early, so we will get a rundown here momentarily, but let us take a 2-minute break. We'll take a quick 2-minute break, and we apologize for our tardy start here with the broadcast, and we'll come back on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. All right, here's the situation in Estes Park. The Bee Diggers lead 3-2 here in the bottom of the third inning. Ben Garrett is on the hill, and Andrew Colat at the plate. And the count is at 2-2, swung on and fouled to the screen. So it remains at 2-2. We'll just do our best to work this as the game wears along. 2 balls and 2 strikes here to Colat. And the offering. And that's down and away in the dirt. It is 3-2. Again with the Bee Diggers in the lead. 3-2 in the bottom of the third. Pitch to Colat. And that is low and away, and it's a walk. So that's the leadoff man here in the bottom of the third for Estes Park. And you can imagine a chilly day here. Out of the stretch here is Garrett with a man at first. And the wind picks up a little bit. That's going to be the case throughout the course of this game. Throw back to first, and back in diving is Colat. Now the Bee Diggers go into the game with a 3-8 record. And the Estes Park Bobcats are sitting at 0-11. This is a game that Brush has got to win. The pitch swung on and fouled right at the plate. Count is at no balls and 1 strike. Let's see if we can identify this hitter for Estes Park. That's Fazil Bati. 0-1 with Colat at first. Bati at the plate. The stretch by Garrett and the pitch. And that is a fastball for a strike. Bell tie, and the count is at 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. And the offering. And that is taken for a called strike 3 on the outside corner with a changeup at the knees. And that is out number 1 here in the bottom of the third inning. And Estes Park will now be sending up Trey Swanland. Stretch by Garrett. And the offering. And that is a changeup on the inside corner for a strike, and Garrett is starting to find his groove here with the Bee Diggers up 3-2. The opening pitch today was brought to you by Buildings by Design, the experience to complete your project from start to finish. Get the quality you deserve in your building with Buildings by Design. Throw back to first, back in diving is Colat. And again, we apologize. This game was supposed to start at 4 o'clock. Pushed it up to 3:30. Our travel plans were going to have us here right at the new game time, and then we got rerouted with 34 closed, and that got us here now. Mustang Baseball right now on B106 and B106.com as they are taking on Alameda. That's a 9-3 Fort Morgan score in the second. And the pitch with a runner going, swung on and missed. The throw to second on a hop, and there's a steal there for Colat. Now the count's sitting at 0-2. With a tying run at second for Estes Park. No balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch swung on and fouled to the backstop. It's at 0-2. The Bee Diggers are looking for the second 2-game winning streak of the season. And Estes Park has got 9 players on their roster that are freshmen. 9 of 19. The pitch. Swing and a miss, and Garrett strikes out Swanland. His second strikeout of the inning. There's 2 down. And now batting for the Bobcats is Tucker Johnson. Again with a tying run at second, swung on and fouled straight back. And also keep in mind that the Bee Diggers just off an impressive 4-0 victory over Yuma. And Estes Park has lost 9 of their 11 games by at least 10 runs. So the fact that this is only a 3-2 game now in the third inning is not boding well for Brush. They've got to get it going offensively. 1 ball and no strikes with a man at second, 2 down in the third, and the pitch. And that is tapped down the first baseline off the glove of Ryan Dunker into right field. Rounding third is Colat. The third of the plate will be cut off, and the game is tied at 3. That'll be an error on the first baseman Dunker on a ball that was hit down the right side and right off his glove, but he was essentially in front of that baseball. And now we're tied at 3. A courtesy runner as well. And these are hardly baseball conditions, as you can tell here in Estes Park. So now it's essentially a 0-0 game once we get to the 4th inning. Here's the stretch and the offering. Swung on and grounded to third. Nice play to his left by Guzman, the short way for the out. And that'll do it for Estes, because J.D. McCown was the one retired on that 5-4 force. We played 3 innings with the score. Brush 3, Estes Park 3 on 1010 KSLR, KSLR.com. The Bee Diggers and Estes Park Bobcats are deadlocked at 3 here in the 4th inning. Nick Wellen will lead off for Brush against right-hander Tucker Johnson. Here's the wind and the pitch. Swung on and popped up, and that is behind the plate, and the catcher with a nice basket catch. And there's 1 down as well, and is retired. And we're just getting, might be Bert Crastille that made that catch. 1 down here for Caleb Cox. Here's the wind and pitch. Fastball is up and away. 1 ball and no strikes. Here to Caleb Cox. And the offering. And that's in the dirt. Wow, this wind is really starting to carry some steam. 2-0. In fact, hats are blowing off. In fact, I think I'm going to reposition myself just so we can broadcast this game without too much interruption and too much wind interference, I should say. 2 balls and no strikes on Caleb Cox. Here's the wind and pitch. Swung on. That ball tapped foul up the first base side. Two and 1 here to the Bee Diggers second baseman, deadlocked at 3 in the 4th inning. And he calls time. Cox ready, and so is Johnson. The pitch way outside. 3 and 1. Three balls and 1 strike. The offering, swing and a miss. Took something off it. It's 3-2. And the 3-2 to Caleb. Way outside, he walks. It's a 1-out walk. Now we're going to reposition. Let's take a 1-minute break. Back in 1 minute as Ryan Dunker will step in on 1010 KSLR, KSLR.com. All right, John Beltran back with you here. Ryan Dunker is at the plate for the Bee Diggers. It's a 3-3 game. Here in the top of the fourth inning, the stretch, and that wind is now sweeping as Caleb Cox took second. The ball gets away. And now Cox is into third. The count to Dunker appears to be 1-1, or 2-2, excuse me. Here to Ryan Dunker, 3-3. With Caleb Cox at third, it's 1 out. And the pitch, swing and a foul. Or did he miss that? Yeah, he missed that altogether. It was a 1-2 pitch, and Dunker strikes out. So there's 2 down in the inning. After the Dunker strikeout. And let's see who steps in. Or did they say he foul tipped it? I don't know. There's some discussion at the plate. Anyway, with 2 down. Yeah, we have a massive, massive win. So we reposition ourselves inside here. All right, Isaac De Herrera will now hit for Brush. So it was a strikeout of Ryan Dunker with 2 outs here in the fourth inning. The stretch with Cox at third and the pitch. And that's a strike with a changeup at the knees. No balls and 1 strike to Isaac De Herrera. Yeah, the B-Diggers have 7 seniors on their team compared to 1 for Estes Park in the offering. Swing and a miss on a pitch down and away. He went chasing there. And the count is now sitting at 0-2 on De Herrera. Yeah, the only close games Estes Park has had were against Liberty Common, a doubleheader that Liberty Common won 7-2 and 2-0. The offering. And that's down and in and blocked over there by the catcher, Bert Castile. The B-Diggers are looking for the go-ahead run. The pitch, swing, and a foul tip at the plate. Boy, De Herrera just got a piece of that one. Yeah, these might be the worst baseball conditions the B-Diggers have had this year, and they've had some bad ones, but in Estes Park on a windy Tuesday. And the breaking ball is swung on and grounded right side, and the play to be made at first, and that play is made over there at first, and the B-Diggers do not score on a 3 unassisted. No runs, no hits, no errors, and a man left at third base. We head to the bottom of the fourth inning in Estes Park. We've got a close game with the score, Brush 3, Estes Park 3 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. All right, let's head to the bottom of the fourth inning, where the B-Diggers and Estes Park Bobcats are deadlocked at 3. And Ben Garrett still doing the job on the hill for the B-Diggers. The defense remains the same for Brush since we got here a little bit tardy. In the infield, of course, Dunker, Cox, and Guzman first, second, and third well, and it's short. And Ben Garrett's got to hold down this lineup now. Here's the wind-in pitch, and that's a strike. No balls and 1 strike to the right-handed hitter for Estes Park. And that is Luke Webster. And that's right there for a strike as well. And the changeup. No balls and 2 strikes. You can follow us on Twitter. We'll get our stuff up there at KSIR Sports. And the offering. Down and away. The ball off the glove of Cole. And it's at 1-2. Yeah, we have a little bit of moisture falling, but not much. And Garrett delivers. Swung on. That ball is grounded to third. And Guzman has it set, throws for the out. And there's 1 down as Gunnar Guzman makes the play for the B-Diggers at third. So 1 down at the bottom of the fourth inning. And stepping in now for the Bobcats will be another right-handed hitter. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. It's wearing a number 19. Why do not have on the roster here? And the offering. Swung on. That ball's fouled off to the right. No balls and 2 strikes. The B-Diggers had a 3-2 lead after 2.5, and now it's tied at 3 as Estes Park scored the tying run on a beat digger error. The offering. That's in the dirt. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ben Garrett with 1 out and the bases empty in the bottom of the 4th inning. And the pitch, and that's up and away. Ball 2, strike 2. The Bee Diggers are 29th right now in the RPI. That was going into yesterday. And the 2-2 from Garrett. Swung on. That ball is driven on the ground into right field for a base hit. And running right through the bag was the hitter for Estes Park. And now that'll send up Bert Crastille. So 1 out, 1 on with Estes Park looking for the lead. And here's Crastille, one of the more experienced players. Again, they've got 9 freshmen on this team. Of 19 players, 9 of them are freshmen. We'll have a courtesy runner over there as well. Here for the Bobcats as Crastille steps in. The Bee Diggers are scheduled to play Valley coming up on Saturday, but that really is a weather-permitting type of game, considering the forecast for Friday and Saturday is not good whatsoever. All right, they're still now making adjustments to the lineup card here. Estes Park at 0-11 going into this game, so, they really don't have anything to lose. I mean, they are the decided underdog here. Even though the Bee Diggers only have 3 wins, we know the talent Brush has got. We know what they're capable of after beating Fort Morgan, a 4A team, 7-5 at home, and beating Yuma, a very good 2A team, 4-0. And the pitch, and that is outside. Runner going to second. To throw is right there, the tag, and out at second base as Nick Wellen applies the tag for the second out of the inning. Perfect throw there by Colin Cole. And nailed at second was Elijah Kitchen. And the pitch, and that's in the dirt. 2 balls and no strikes. That's a big out, and an excellent throw there by Colin Cole. 2-0 to Crastille, with the bases empty in the bottom of the 4th inning, tied at 3. And the offering. Swing and a miss on a changeup. Garrett pulled the string nicely. 2 balls and 1 strike. This will turn into a 3-inning game if the Bee Diggers just keep this right now. And that swung on and popped up. The center fielder, Griffith, is going back. He's still going back, and it's over his head. He misread that. Around first and into second is Crastille. Now he's trying for third. Wellen's going to make the throw, and now it's going to bounce into Guzman, and it gets away, but no further advance. That's going to be a triple. The ball really carries well here in Estes Park, and Griffith found that out right there. That's a 2-out triple. It seemed like a harmless fly ball, but it just carried and carried, and we've got a very, very stiff win here as Pablo Escacega steps in. Pablo Escacega. Yeah, now it is snowing here in Estes Park. Here's the wine and offering. Swing and a miss. Do him a little breaking ball there. No balls and 1 strike. Yeah, if you're the underdog, you want to play in conditions like this. Swing and a miss. Another good pitch there by Garrett to this freshman, Pablo Escacega. No balls and 2 strikes. 1 pitch away is Garrett from getting out of this mini jam. The offering. Fastball is upstairs. And the count is now sitting at 1-2. Garrett looking to put him away with this pitch. Up and in, nearly hit him. To the ground went Escacega. Counted 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Garrett is operating out of the windup with a man at third. He gets a sign from Cole. And the pitch. Fastball is high. And way off of third is Crastille, tempting to Cole to throw the ball over there, but Cole's not going to do it. It's just too risky weather-wise for the Bee Diggers to take such a chance. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Ben Garrett looking for the strikeout and the offering, and he bounced that one in there. Looked like he tried to throw him a changeup and short-armed it. So now it's first and second for Andrew Kolat. And Kolat had a base hit his last time up. And now there'll be a visit to the hill from pitching coach Christian Baez. I mean, this is not easy for any pitcher at all. Yeah, the wind is gusting so badly here in Estes Park. I mean, you've got, first of all, you've got more fans in cars, more people in cars than you do outside, not counting the players and the coaches. There's probably about 11 or 12 people watching the game just outside the field. We're also outside the field, but positioned in a more comfortable environment. So first and third, 2 out, bottom of the 4th inning. And we are deadlocked at 3. Estes Park is looking for the lead. The stretch and the pitch. That's in the dirt. And it's blocked by Cole. 1 ball and no strikes. At third is Castillo. Escadsega's at first. Both got on base with 2 down. Ben Garrett, the sophomore, comes home. Swung on and driven into right field. That is going to drop for a base hit. And Estes Park is in the lead as Bert Castillo scores from third. Advancing to second is Escadcega. Andrew Kolat with the RBI single. And Estes Park leads 4-3 here in the bottom of the 4th inning. And the B-Diggers have got to be stunned a little bit as Aiden Parks will now step in for Estes Park. The stretch by Garrett and the pitch. Swung on and driven foul off to the right and out of play. No balls and 1 strike. And again, our apologies here for arriving tardy. And that pitch is a ball, 1 ball and 1 strike. And the pitch, swing and a grounder, left side well, and the shortstop flips to second for the out. And that'll do it here for Estes Park. Well, the Bobcats do take the lead, though, as they get a key base hit. They get 2 hits in the inning. Let's go to the top of the 5th inning with the score. Estes Park 4 and the B-Diggers 3 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. John Beltran back in Estes Park with the B-Diggers trail 4-3. Colin Cole bunts it out in front of the plate, fielded by the pitcher. Johnson throws to first for the out, and there's 1 down. I think Colin Cole meant to get out of the way of that pitch, and all of a sudden it hit his bat. So the B-Digger catcher is retired on a simple 1-3, an excuse me bunt. And there's 1 down here for Justin Griffith. We're in the top of the 5th inning in Estes Park, looking for their first win of the year as that pitch is down and away. 1 ball and no strikes. Tucker Johnson, the right-hander, looks in. Down and away with a changeup. Count goes to 2-0. Now, the B-Diggers have had their struggles offensively this year. And that's a strike, a changeup at the knees on the outside corner. Ball 2 and strike 1 to Justin Griffith. 1 out here in the top of the 5th inning. And the B-Diggers are down 4-3, and that breaking ball is upstairs. Yeah, the one good thing with Brush that I mentioned this year, they don't swing at bad pitches. So what you know about Brush is that they will earn those walks, and that one's in there for a strike. A changeup down the middle, 3-2. Estes Park lost to Valley yesterday, 14-1. Now the sun has come out, but the wind is still pretty stiff. 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss on a changeup down and away. And Justin Griffith strikes out, and there's 2 down. I think he got fooled by that pitch. And that'll bring up Carson Rule, hitting from the right side. B-Diggers better get things going here, or they're in danger of losing to Estes Park, which does not have a victory this year and came close really only once when they lost 2-0 in one of their games against Liberty Common recently. Here's the wind by Johnson, and the pitch swung on and fouled right at the plate. No balls and 1 strike. I mean, a pitcher changes everything, and that's all the Bobcats need. They can find somebody to throw strikes, and that's what Tucker Johnson has done. That could provide danger to any opposition. And Rule awaits the pitch, and he takes it into the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike. We started this game half an hour earlier than scheduled. It was scheduled for 4, but then they changed it earlier today. It has stopped snowing. It was just some brief flurries. Bryson Wooldridge is warming up for Brush. More than likely he comes into the game in the 6th inning, or in the bottom of the 5th, I should say. Right now we're in the top of the 5th inning with 2 outs and nobody on, and the Bead Diggers trail the Bobcats by a score of 4-3. Well, there's a huge gap in right center field. Aiden Parks is patrolling center field for Estes Park. And the pitch is swung on and fouled off to the right. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Bead Diggers scored 3 early runs. Estes Park countered with 2. The Bobcats scored a run in the 3rd to tie the game and 1 more in the 4th. And the pitch to Rule. Swung on and fouled off the catcher's mask. Again, off speed by Tucker Johnson. And it remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes to Carson Rule, the Bead Digger Jr. And he is well covered up. He's got a big hoodie underneath. The pitch in the dirt, blocked by Castile. Ball 2, strike 2. Yeah, the weather's warmer in Morgan County. There's no question about it. Game time temperature here, about 39 degrees. And the pitch, swing and grounded up the middle, headed for center field. And the shortstop, Webster, gets to it, spins, throws to first, but it's going to be late and over the head of the first baseman, but no advance. That'll be an infield hit for Carson Rule. He kind of hit that off the end of the bat, so they wouldn't have got him anyway. Yeah, Webster should have just held on to that baseball, because there was really nothing that the first baseman, Trey Swanland, could do there. The Bead Diggers are looking here for the 2-out rally. And here is Jade Queen. Had that big 2-run double in the 1st inning against Yuma, and he swings and fouls it at the plate. Gunnar Guzman is on deck, so the Bead Diggers have the heart of the order coming up. No balls and 1 strike. Estes Park with a 4-3 lead here in the top of the 5th inning. And the pitch. That one's in the dirt. And the count is level. 1 ball and 1 strike. With an open stance. Swing, and that ball is grounded up the middle. That's a base hit for Queen into center field. And Carson Rule will get the second. No further advance for him as Aiden Parks gets the ball in quickly. So the Bead Diggers have back-to-back hits here in the top of the 5th inning with 2 down and nobody on at the time. And now Gunnar Guzman is looking to give the Bead Diggers the lead or at least tie the game. There'll be a visit to the hill. Make Stubbs Gas and Oil your next stop heading out of town. You can get your hunting and fishing licenses, some outstanding food, and so much more. That's at Stubbs Gas and Oil. So Brush has got to be sensing the urgency right now, trailing by 1. And I thought that going into this game, if the Bead Diggers had turned the corner this season, they had to win this game going away. Right now, they're just thinking about winning the game. They don't care what the margin of victory is. As I alluded to earlier, Estes Park is 0-11. 9 of their 11 losses have been by 10 runs or more. The only 2 somewhat competitive games they had was 7-2 against Liberty Common, and then a close game where they lost to Liberty Common on the front end of a doubleheader 2-0. So here we go. Gunnar Guzman, the Bead Digger third baseman, steps in. First and second with 2 down here in the top of the 5th inning. The right-hander Tucker Johnson. A lot of change-ups in this game. The stretch and the offering, and that's up and away. 1 ball and no strikes. Here to Gunnar Guzman. Rule at second, Queen at first. The stretch and the offering, and that nearly hit him on a changeup. 2 balls and no strikes. With Nick Wellen waiting to hit next. Guzman awaits, and that is outside, and the ball gets away. Rule advancing to third to throw the slide, and he is safe. Oh, that ball didn't get away far. It's a pass ball, but Rule was in there by just a little bit, but a nice aggressive play by the bead digger, Carson Rule. And are they going to walk? Yep, they will walk Guzman intentionally now at 3-0. That's a smart play. 1, he's too good of a hitter. 2, it's 3-0, and 3, got a base open. So in steps Nick Wellen, a huge at-bat for Nick Wellen. With the bases loaded and 2 down in the 5th inning. The stretch by Tucker Johnson and the offering. Swung on and popped up into shallow left field. The shortstop is out to his left, and he couldn't make the catch. Oh, Luke Webster could not haul that in. 2 runs are going to score. The wind drifted the ball a little bit to the left, but he should have had that. That'll be a 2-out, 2-run error on Webster, and the Bead Diggers now lead 5-4. And that's one of the reasons that Estes Park, I mean, I hate to be so blunt, is 0-11. Even with the wind, that should have been easily made. Now first and second for Caleb Cox. And the Bead Diggers have gotten tons of help there. A quick pitch is outside from Johnson. 1 ball and no strikes. Here to the senior second baseman. Yeah, the wind blew the ball in a bit, but to Webster's left, and it just went off his glove. Johnson looks back the offering. Swung on, that's popped foul and out of play off to the left. And the count is at 1-1. Yeah, these are horrible conditions for baseball. All these players they're like mummified out there. Guzman, by the way, got the third. And the second was Wellen after that 2-out error. So Cox in the box. No balls, 1 strike. 2 across, 2 down, and 2 in scoring position. The Bead Diggers are looking to extend the lead. We're in the top half of the 5th inning. Castillo lays down the sign, the pitch. And that's taken for a strike with a changeup. Belt high in the outer half, it's 0-2. Those Bead Digger runs brought to you by Western Engineering Consultants. And the offering swung on and popped foul and out of play down the left side. Yeah, it's clear the last couple of swings, at least that last swing, Caleb's trying to go the other way. He's pulling off the ball a little bit because the shortstop, first of all, Webster is playing way back. Just a little roller would score a run, and the pitch swung on line. That's a base hit into right field. Guzman will score. Wellen around third, and he's going to score on a 2-run, 2-out single by Caleb Cox. And the Bead Diggers now have plated 4 runs in the top of the 5th inning and lead Estes Park 7-4. Well, the opposition makes a mistake, and you've got to take advantage. And here's Ryan Dunker, who struck out his last time up. But Brush has got to realize they have to play better than this. And the pitch swung on, and that's a check swing pop on the right side. And the play is made for the out by the first baseman, Trey Swanlin. And that will do it for the Bead Diggers in the top of the 5th inning. However, Brush does take the lead as they score 4 runs on 3 hits, a huge 2-out error. In fact, all of the runs were unearned as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning in Estes Park. It's Brush 7, Estes Park 4 on 10 KSIR and KSIR.com. Bryson Wooldridge is the new pitcher for the Bead Diggers as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. And Brush is in the lead over Estes Park. Not a pretty game for the Bead Diggers. They got major help thanks to a 2-out error by shortstop Luke Webster. But the Bee Diggers will take it. They lead 7-4. And Estes Park will be sending up Trey Swanlin here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Let's see if Bryson can put these guys away. The pitch. And that ball's a strike. Or that pitch is a strike, I should say, down the middle. No balls and 1 strike. Wooldridge out of the stretch with the bases empty. Tailing fastballs up and in. 1-1. Wooldridge is a junior. And he's been pitching in relief for Brush this season. Yeah, the Bee Diggers really played a clean game against Yuma in that 4-0 victory. And a pitch. Swung on and grounded slowly to second. Caleb Cox to his right. Flings it to first for the out. And there's one down as Trey Swanlin is retired. And that'll bring up Tucker Johnson. Pitching to some bad luck there because of the error committed by Webster. Estes Park's got to be thinking they should have the 4-3 lead here in the bottom of the 5th inning. But instead, the Bee Diggers have overtaken this team up and away with a fastball. 1 ball and no strikes. Yeah, the Bee Diggers are simply looking for consistency the remainder of the season. That's what they want. We had an umpire who had to leave the field and is now slowly making his way back to first base. I don't know if he had to put extra padding on, but that's the field umpire. 1 ball and no strikes. The stretch by Wooldridge with the bases empty. Swing and a miss through the fastball right by Tucker Johnson. And the count is at 1-1. And the pitch. Swing and a miss on a tailing fastball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bee Diggers will be in action. Again, coming up on Saturday, weather permitting, against Valley. Swing and a miss. Boy, another amazing fastball there by Bryson Wooldridge. He strikes out Johnson. There's 2 down. And he's just pitching nails right now. So 2 down. And a swing and a miss. That is J.D. McCown. And right now, Wooldridge, he just wants to get back into that dugout. He's not messing around whatsoever. The pitch. Swing and a miss on a fastball tailing away. Man, if he's got lateral movement like that, he's going to make this a very quick inning. No balls and 2 strikes. He's probably going to go right after him here. Pitch. Swung on and popped foul and out of play. Had that one up in the zone. Count remains at 0-2. Wooldridge has been very effective, throwing just 10 pitches, 8 for strikes. 7-4 Brush here in the bottom of the 5th inning. The stretch and the offering. That is a called strike 3. Took something off it on the inner half at the knees. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Bryson Wooldridge. It's a 90-second break as we head to inning number 6 with a score in Estes Park. The Bee Diggers are in the lead over the Bobcats, 7-4 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Isaac De Herrera begins the 6th inning. He swings and misses at a pitch up in the zone. No balls and 1 strike. And the offering up and in. Count is at 1-1. And the pitch. Swung on in line, and that is a leaping grab at second. And there's 1 down. Excellent play there by Pablo Escalcega on that line drive hit by Isaac De Herrera. Now the Bee Diggers grabbed a 3-0 lead after half an inning. A walk to Griffith, a walk to Carson Rule, and a 3-run inside the park home run from Jade Queen. Swing and a miss. At the plate now is Colin Cole. Cole bunted into an out his last time up. And the offering. Swing and a miss again on the changeup. It's 0-2. The one concern the Bee Diggers will have, the major concern, because their fielding has improved, has got to be the bats. if they make the playoffs. Swing and a miss, and Cole strikes out on 3 pitches. That was on the outer half at the knees, and there's 2 down. They scored 13 runs against Resurrection Christian, but they were aided by 12 walks in that game. And here is Justin Griffith, who struck out his last time up. But again, he walked and scored on that 3-run homer by Jade Queen in the first. And he swings and sends a fly ball into deep right center field. That one's got some carry to it way back. And was that catch made? It was, by Aiden Parks in the gap. He makes the catch, and it's a 1-2-3 inning as Justin Griffith is retired on a deep fly ball to right center field. To the bottom of the 6th inning we go. With the score, Brush 7, Estes Park 4 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Let's head to the bottom of the 6th inning where Bryson Wooldridge throws a strike to Luke Webster. Next pitch is up and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. The Bee Diggers lead the Bobcats 7-4. The pitch, swing and a miss. I'm telling you right now, this pitcher for Brush, the junior Bryson Wooldridge, is on his game. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Pitch to Webster. Swing and a miss. And he strikes him out. He challenged him right there with a little lateral action to that baseball. And there's 1 down. And I'm going to guess this is Dennis Campa. This is a different number, but I'm guessing this is Campa. He's wearing a 19 that we do not have. But he's the one who's gotten a frequent number of at-bats. So 1 down, and the base is empty for Estes Park. Right now on B106 and B106.com, Fort Morgan is leading Alameda 22-3. Yeah, the C team was supposed to play a game at Alameda as well. The game was originally scheduled today for Fort Morgan, and there was a misunderstanding apparently on the schedule. So the Fort Morgan C team went to Alameda, and then umpires did not show up for the game, so it was canceled. I cannot imagine how irate Fort Morgan officials would be for that happening. You schedule a game and then no umpires, and you send the players back home after they've driven, or if they've ridden, 80 some odd miles. All right, here we go. Apparently there was a lineup change here for Estes Park. So Elijah Kitchen will now step in. And a pitch by Wooldridge, and squaring to bunt. It's a strike on the outer half. Thigh high, it's 0-1. Wooldridge has thrown almost all strikes. 13 strikes and only 3 balls. Again, the Bee Diggers have a 3-run inside the park home run from Jade Queen. And the pitch, swing and a miss on a ball tailing away. Man, I know this Bobcat lineup has struggled, but Wooldridge can pitch like this. You got to keep him on the mound for games, and I'm sure that's Coach Kevin Fergus's strategy. No balls and 2 strikes. And the offering, down and away. Groceries, fresh cut meat, floral pharmacy, so much more. Brush Grocery Cart at 1302 West Edison Street in Brush. That's Brush Grocery Cart. And the pitch, swung on and grounded foul off to the right side. And the count remains at 1-2. And the pitch, swing and a miss. Another strikeout there by Bryson Wooldridge, who, by the way, is in line for a save here. Ben Garrett is still the pitcher of record. And now batting will be Bert Castillo. He had that big triple for Estes Park. The stretch by Wooldridge. And the pitch. And that fastball's up and in. 5 up, 5 down for Wooldridge, as he is doing his job very effectively. The stretch and the offering. That's a fastball for a strike. I know there's a wind here, but he's also moving that baseball around nicely. And he's working quickly. The offering. Swing and a foul to the screen. I lost you there for a second. We are back with you. Apologize for that. The signal just went out. Anyway, on a 1-2 pitch, Bert Crastile grounded out to the second baseman, Caleb Cox. So that ends the bottom of the sixth inning. Bryson Wooldridge has retired all 6 hitters he's faced. So let's head to the top of the 7th inning in Estes Park. It's a 90-second break. It's Brush 7, Estes Park 4 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Tucker Johnson is still on the hill for Estes Park as we head to the 7th. And the first pitch to Carson Rule is inside. It's ball 1. And the pitch. And he bounced that in there. He's got to be getting tired. 2 balls and no strikes. Carson Rule started that big rally in the 5th inning. With 2 out and nobody on, had an infield single. Then an infield single from Queen, and that's down and away, 3-0. And that really opened the floodgates as the Bead Diggers got going on the offensive end. But then again, it was a 2-out error on a little pop-up hit by Welland that Luke Webster just misplayed. And then Caleb Cox would respond with a 2-run single. That's the Bead Diggers scoring in that inning. Pitch in there for a strike, 3-1. Jade Queen, a 3-run inside the park homer in the first. And that swung on and lifted down the right side along the right field line. And that ball is going to drop for a base hit. Carson Rule to second. Now he's headed for third. The throw is not going to be made. It's a leadoff triple for Carson Rule on the ball just inside the right field line. And the Bead Diggers are looking to extend this 3-run lead. Man, talk about perfect placement. And that's exactly what Rule had there. His second hit in as many at-bats. Now let's see if Estes Park just plays the infield safe here. And just plays back with Jade Queen stepping in. There's the wind and pitch. And that's in the dirt, blocked by Crastile. 1 ball and no strikes. So Rule began a rally in the 5th inning, and now doing so here in the 7th. The offering. Swing and a foul off the end of the bat towards the Bead Digger dugout, and the count is level at 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, we won't have a total line score for you. Apologize for that since we got here a little bit tardy. The game was pushed up. Highway 34 is closed down. Throw back to second after that strike, a swinging strike by Queen. He's back in safely, Rule is. So we got diverted, and as a result, we got here with Brush leading 3-2 in the 3rd inning. We're now in the 7th. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the pitch, and that is blocked by Crastile. Another ball in the dirt. It's 2-2. On deck is Gunnar Guzman. Tucker Johnson looks over at third. The offering. Swing and a grounder to short. Webster has got it. He sets. He throws to first, and it's going to be late. It's an infield hit for Jade Queen. Scoring is Carson Rule. Queen now with 4 RBIs in the game, and the Bead Diggers lead 8-4. And again, he's playing so far back, and Webster really doesn't have a strong arm. And here's Gunnar Guzman. Guzman was intentionally walked his last time up. The pitch, and he swings and grounds it up the middle. The second baseman has got, nope, bobbles the ball, then he steps in the bag, but too late. Pablo Escalcega with the air on what could have been an easy 4-3 double play, but he bobbled the ball to the left of the bag, and Jade Queen beats him there before he stepped on the bag. So with 2 outs and nobody on, or check that, with 2 on and nobody out. Here is Nick Welland. The stretch by Johnson. And the offering up and in. 1 ball and no strikes. Welland popped out in his last at bat, then had a huge fly ball that Webster dropped at short. And if not for that, Estes Park might still be in the lead. Swung on and driven high in the air down the left field line. That could be trouble. A long run, and the ball is going to drop in. Let's see, they might have a play at third, the throw towards third, and in there is going to be Carson Rule. Yeah, we're slightly blocked off at this vantage point, but we'll call it a base hit by Welland on that fly ball. Hit down the left field line with a wind, obviously taking effect. And here's Caleb Cox, who has walked and singled in his last 2 plate appearances, including a 2-run single that gave the Bee Diggers the cushion here with a 7-4 lead, and he could provide a bigger cushion right now. Queen has got 4 RBIs, and Cox might be able to match him the offering. It's up and away, 1 ball and no strikes. Here to Caleb Cox with the bases loaded and nobody out in the top of the 7th inning, and the Bee Diggers up by 3, the offering. Swung on and fouled off, or no, hit in the air down the left field line. It's caught. Excuse me, boy, I thought that thing was twisting foul. Andrew Colat makes the catch along the line for Estes Park. And Caleb Cox went chasing on that changeup that was really descending. Infield fly was called anyway, so there's 1 down. 1 down here for Ryan Dunker. And are we going to have a pitching change? Yeah, Tucker Johnson is essentially out of pitches. So we'll have a new pitcher for Estes Park. Bases loaded, 1 out in the top of the 7th inning with a score. Brush 7, Estes Park 4. It's a 90-second break on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. J.D. McCown is the new pitcher for Estes Park. Bases loaded with 1 out in the 7th inning. The last hitter that Johnson faced was Caleb Cox, who popped up to third, but then the pitch count got Johnson. And the Bee Diggers are looking to extend a 3-run lead. They took the lead with 4 runs, all with 2 outs in the top of the 5th inning. I don't know how much experience McCown has got on the hill, but it doesn't look like much. Yeah, the only downside for Brush here is that this will only be the 3rd time that Estes Park plays 7 innings all season in 12 games. As even if Brush scores a bunch of runs here, this game is going to go the distance inning-wise. So Dunker will step in. Queen at third, Guzman at second, and Nick Welland at first. And it'll be J.D. McCown out of the windup with the bases full of Bee Diggers. And do we have a balk? We have a balk. McCown is wondering what happened there. Apparently he was starting his windup, and then he stopped. Yeah, the home plate umpire's out there, not even the field umpire. So a balk has been assigned there, and Queen is going to score, and the Bee Diggers lead 8-4. I've rarely seen that even before he throws his first pitch. Yeah, I went to a baseball game 25 years ago in Atlanta between the then Florida Marlins and the Atlanta Braves. It was in the Marlins' first year of existence. And that game was tied at 3 in the bottom of the 9th inning. And Deion Sanders was at third base. And the pitcher, Matt Turner, balked in the winning run. A strange way to end the game, but that's just as strange. You don't even throw a pitch and you balk. The pitch. Ball nearly hit him. 1 ball and no strikes to Ryan Dunker. So Estes Park had that brief 4-3 lead, but since then, the Bee Diggers have taken control here. Swung on. That ball is grounded to short, and that is right through Luke Webster into left center field. A couple of runs are going to score, and the Bee Diggers are now going to lead 11-4, so I'd missed a run in there. 11-4 Brush is the score. That'll be a error there by Webster, his second of the game. Give 1 RBI to Dunker as Guzman crossed home plate. All right, so this is now getting out of control here for Estes Park as the Bee Diggers have another run across. And here's Isaac De Herrera. One ball and no strikes. And the pitch. Scoring to bunt, lays it down right towards the pitcher. And the throw to first is going to be low. And is he in there? Yeah, he's safe. He is safe, so now we got the bases. Is it first and third? Yeah, still 11-4. Okay, I'm losing my faculties here. First and third. And the B Diggers do have an 11-4 lead. That we do know. That is accurate. And stepping in now will be Ben Brown. So Brown now batting for Brush with runners at first and third. That'll be scored. An error on the pitcher, by the way. Swanland with the error on the errant throw. He basically bounced it in there. The stretch. And the runner going, and Swanland now steps off. So De Herrera took off, and he has a stolen base without a pitch being thrown. The B Diggers have plated 4 runs in the inning. And the offering. And ball went behind him off the glove. And now breaking for the plate is Dunker, and the slide, and he is safe. The catcher, Crastille, went and dove back to the plate after he retrieved the ball, and Dunker scores. And it's now 12-4 in favor of the B Diggers as they have tallied 5 runs here in the 7th. That'll be scored a pass ball to third is De Herrera. And the pitch swung on. That ball is driven deep into left field, and that will be caught. And tagging up at third, a late tag as De Herrera towards the plate. He slides, and he's going to be in there. Boy, De Herrera had to make sure that the ball was caught, and he hesitated. But he scores on that sac fly by Ben Brown. And the B Diggers now lead 13-4. I'm telling you, this has been an odd game. A very odd game. B Diggers are going to look like they dominated this game, but it was very close. In fact, they were down 4-3 with 2 outs in the 5th inning before a 4-run rally. Now they'll throw to third on appeal. It's going to be even stranger if he's called out no. All right, so the run does count, and here's Justin Griffith, who has struck out and popped out in his last 2 at-bats. However, he began the game with a walk, as did Carson Rule, and then Jade Queen hit a 3-run inside the park homer. And the offering swung on. That ball is lifted into shallow left center field. That one might drop. That one is going to drop for a base hit. So Justin Griffith reaches with the bases empty. And the inning will continue for Carson Rule. And this guy's been the rally starter. With 2 outs in the 5th inning, he singled. That was followed by another single by Jade Queen. And then Brush eventually scored 4 runs. And then he tripled to lead off this inning. Swung on. That ball is popped up with a runner going into center field. Aiden Park settles under it and makes the catch. And the inning, the ugly inning, including my call of the inning, is finally over. All right, the B Diggers score 6 runs on 4 hits, 3 errors, and there was a man left. Let us head to the bottom of the 7th inning. The B Diggers are in control. They lead the game by a score of 13-4 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Bryson Woolridge throws strike 1 to Pablo Escalcega, and a swing and a miss. It's 0-2. Man, Bryson Woolridge has been on fire since coming into the game. In the bottom of the 5th inning for Ben Garrett, up and away with a fastball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ben Garrett is the pitcher of record, but Woolridge has struck out 4. And nearly a 5th up and away. 2-2. The B Diggers lead 13-4. They broke it open with 6 runs in the 7th. Swung on and grounded right side. Caleb Cox to his right on the 1-hopper. Fires to first. And there is 1 down here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Caleb Cox has made quite a few plays here at second base. 1 down. And Andrew Colat will be the hitter. We'll have the postgame coming up immediately after this game, with Brush about to win their 2nd consecutive game before Valley comes in Saturday morning, weather permitting. That is fouled towards the B Digger dugout. No balls and 1 strike. Colat has singled in each of his previous 2 at-bats. No balls and one strike to Colat, the right-handed hitter. Swung on, that ball is grounded right side, and that's into right field for a base hit right in between Dunker and Cox. So that's 3 consecutive hits for Andrew Colat. And he's been doing his job for Estes Park. And that'll bring up Fazil Bhatti. That's F-A-Z-E-E-L-B-H-A-T-T-I. Fazil Bhatti. Speed Diggers at double play depth. Wooldridge had retired the 7 hitters he faced till then. Throw back to first, and back in standing is Colat. I don't think he'll be going anywhere. Down by 9 runs here in the top half, the bottom half of the 7th inning, the stretch. And the offering. And that is over for a strike at the knees on the tailing fastball in the outer half. It's 0-1. Bryson Wooldridge has thrown 25 strikes and only 7 balls. Swing and a miss. Ball tailing away. Man, if you have that type of action from a left-hander against a right-handed hitter, as he's had through these 2 1/3 innings, you're very tough to hit. The pitch. Fastball is outside. Ball 1, strike 2. And if Brush does not play on Saturday morning, man, you're going to have a busy schedule next week because you got Eaton on Thursday, Liberty Common on Tuesday, then a doubleheader against Estes Park, and that is a strike. Fastball at the knees. Bhatti thought it was below the knees. He's not happy about that. Called strikeout number 5 for Bryson Wooldridge, and there is 2 down here in the bottom of the 7th inning. And here is a strike to Trey Swanlin. I don't think Wooldridge has ever thrown better in a varsity outing. Swung on and missed. No balls and 2 strikes. 1 pitch away is Wooldridge from ending this thing. The stretch and the offering. Swing and a miss, and Bryson Wooldridge faces 10 hitters. He strikes out 6 of them, and the Bee Diggers defeat the Estes Park Bobcats by a score of 13-4. Bee Digger post-game show is brought to you by Mr. D's A Farm and Home Center, your headquarters for your home farm and ranch supplies from plumbing to feed, with 3 locations to serve you, Sterling, Brush, and Fort Morgan. Mr. D's Ace Farm and Home Center. As the Bee Diggers win 13-4, they were up 3-0 after a 3-run inside the park home run from Jade Queen, and that was in the top of the 1st inning. Estes Park would counter with a couple of runs, and in fact, they took a 4-3 lead. But then in the top of the 5th inning with 2 down and nobody on, Carson Rule started a rally with a single. Jade Queen had a single. Bases were loaded. 2 batters later, Nick Wellen hit a fly ball to the shortstop, Luke Webster. He misplayed it, went off his glove for a 2-out, 2-run error. And then Caleb Cox would follow up with a single, a 2-run single, giving the Bee Diggers a 7-4 lead. And then Carson Rule generated a rally. He initiated a rally with a triple down the right field line, and that basically initiated a 6-run 7th inning as the Bee Diggers won this game 13-4. Time of the game, 1 hour and 57 minutes. The winning pitcher was Ben Garrett, and the loss went to Tucker Johnson, but Bryson Wooldridge, with that outstanding outing, does get a save, a 3-inning save for Bryson Wooldridge. Estes Park falls to 0-12. The Bee Diggers win for the first time in league play. They are 4-8 on the season. And again, keep in mind, they will play Saturday morning, weather permitting, in Brush at 11 o'clock against the Valley Vikings. Outstanding job, as always, by our sound engineer and producer, Rose Condis. I'm John Beltran with a final score, as we'll pick up the Rockies in progress momentarily here. Brush 13, Estes Park 4 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.